And we're back with another episode of the YNK podcast. After a long 2-week break, Mr. Steve will not be joining us because he is in a metaphorical and literal doghouse.
He is in the fucking doghouse.
What did he do, Mike?
So he keeps shitting in. All right, so Steve, we're definitely a little spoiled in our own regard because Steve really takes care of himself in a pretty incredible manner for a dog.
Takes himself
out to the bathroom.
He opens the door. He shuts it.
The door, closes it. But when he goes, so he started shitting in the front. He usually goes and shits on the side of the house, which is like all rocks, and it's really easy for like upkeep. Mm-hmm. Now he's shitting right in the front, and it's like, one, it's gross, and it kind of smells. If
you get like the wind traveling from west to east, you're getting smacked right in the face with Steve's shit.
So then I eased into like disciplining him about it. I was like, go like grab him, bring him over there, and be like, no. He knows what the fuck's going on. He's done it like 3 days in a row. And then when I pull back up to the house, he's acting all weird because he knows what he did. So then today I go to like discipline him a little bit. Not even that bad. Just like same, spank him. He like snarls at me and like literally like lunged at me to bite me. Aggressively, like viciously. And then I brought him went to his house and tried this, and like he was barking like viciously at me. So fuck that, dude.
You don't bite the hand that feeds you, Mr. Steve.
Literally.
I think we all know that. Mr. Steve.
Yeah.
I think I know why he developed that habit. Doggo, you know why.
Fully. And the funny part is I'm wearing the I like dog shirt today. I got murder beef for my dog while I wear the I like dog shirt. Yeah, fuck.
Well, he developed that habit. Doggo, you know why.
Why?
He developed that habit because Chubb started doing it.
Oh, he's shitting over there.
Whoa.
Right? Yeah, no, it is. But so what? Steve knows not to do that.
Steve knows better, but Chubbs is his friend. I think he looks up to him a little bit.
No, I think he's just trying to match it. Like,
yeah,
he's trying to match the energy.
He's like,
they're basically in a fucking dick measuring contest the whole time they're here.
That's true.
That's all they're doing. It's just like
Steve's
fighting over toys.
Steve's got a little dingy too, so that might be why he has so much like
Steve
anger.
does have a little
Chubb's
dingy.
packing.
Is he?
Yeah, man.
That's probably what this is all about.
Chubbs, you got a huge dick, bro. Good for you.
Good stuff, Chubbs. Good stuff.
So we just had a 2-week break. I missed the podcast. I missed you guys. We were both on the East Coast for Christmas. However, we did not spend New Year's together.
We did not.
You guys were here in Los Angeles. How was your New Year's?
Fucking aggressive.
Any highlights?
I don't know. Was it? Yeah, I mean, we
Nothing we can really talk about.
Yeah, it's got to stay off the record for the most part. It was good. We had a good night.
All right.
Nothing too dramatic on the good or the bad side happened. We went to some partners of ours, who are big boys, make a bunch of money. Had a big house party, which is like super decked out. Probably one of the illest like crib decor parties I've been to. Shit was ill. It's fire.
That's
what about
sweet.
you? You were in Iowa just being ratchet, weren't you?
Yeah, but before I get into that, did you have a kiss at midnight, Mike?
Oh yeah.
You did? What was his name?
You ready? His name was Steve. No,
Does she deserve any honorable mention?
No, we'll definitely stay off the record with her name. But she was a blast. Had a great evening. Great evening, morning. 12-hour shenanigan.
Before
Evening.
we get past the holidays,
Evening, morning.
John, I got a Christmas present for you.
For me?
Yeah.
You got me an Ancestry.com DNA kit?
Yeah, sure did.
You know, I did see on the last episode, I commented how my aunt did this, and she was a certain percentage African American. It turns out she was more than 2%. She was like 10%.
So you might be.
So we're gonna find out.
You might be a little more.
So how does this work? And by the way, we are in no way, shape, or form sponsored by Ancestry
So
DNA.
you spit in the tube.
Yeah, manifest it.
You have to like shove something up your ass and put it in a test tube?
You can.
You wish it was that. He's like, damn it. No, you spit in the tube and send it back. It's really easy.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm gonna actually do this.
Thank you.
We need the results read live on the
What's
podcast.
What's the turnaround on this pop?
Dude, it's like 6 weeks.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be like 3 podcasts from now.
Well, that's something we can all look forward to.
It's like group podcasts.
Yeah.
That's something we can all look forward to. I did spend New Year's in the greatest, most magical land in the entire world. And
God's
that is
country?
God's country, also known as Iowa, in a little city called Des Moines, which I did say on Twitter, of course, is French for Des Moines.
What is Des Moines?
What's a Moines?
Dago, what's a Moines? He doesn't know. He's from there too. He doesn't know.
That sounds French.
That Dago up there, by the way. He's up there on our TV screen. Anyways,
Money?
I'm not gonna lie. I actually currently still am, but back in New Year's Eve, I was in the trenches. I was in the trenches pretty hard.
New Year's Eve?
I was in the trenches hard with my lady.
I hate to see that.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
Hate to see it. Unfortunately, fortunately, in the land of Des Moines, there's a lot of Steves. There's a lot of Steves, and they're great. They're great Steves as far as
Wholesome Steve.
wholesome Steves.
Ready to party.
They go to church, but they'll turn it right back around and give you a nice ratchet evening.
You gonna pass that at any point or no? This guy just burned the whole thing.
So I'd say when we went to a really dope bar there in Des Moines, downtown, called Beer Can Alley / Exchange, 2 big bars right there.
They're like college bars, right?
Not necessarily, but you get that vibe. It's like Saddle Ranch, but like 5 times bigger.
Fuck, man.
Imagine that.
I swear to God, it's still, after all the wild shit that I've done and like ill clubs, I really prefer like a good strip of bars.
That's what I'm saying. So
I really do. Still now, like I'd rather just have like 30 bars to bop around, just fucking get ratchet.
amen to that. So I'm in Beer Can Alley / Exchange, downtown Des Moines. It's like nearing midnight. It's like 11 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty drunk. And a couple Steves roll by. They drop the I drop my yup back, and they invite me for some shots. Memory has it I did something to upset my lady. She wasn't too thrilled with me. I don't know what I did.
You haven't recapped?
Her memory or your memory has it?
You guys haven't rehashed yet?
Her memory.
Are you still in the trenches?
Well, I'll get to that. You don't know what I did yet. So around like 11:30, these Steves roll by. They buy me some shots. Really great Steves. And my lady wasn't too thrilled with me. I didn't really like the position I was at, so I ditched her and I hung out with the Steves. They had a table at the adjoining bar, and next I checked, it was after midnight. It was 12:15. I missed the ball drop, and I did not have a midnight kiss.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's gonna land you right in the doghouse.
And she came by shortly after to remind me that
You were
I'm
kissing some ass.
And I'm fine today.
and I'm not fine today. So it might take as long as the ancestry.com kit to return for me to hash that out with her. We'll take bets on which happens first. Not sure.
I'll take the under. Whatever. I got faith in you. I've seen you climb yourself out of bigger holes than I didn't think was possible to climb out of. So I'll take the under. Hammer the under.
A man once told me you have to just keep going.
You do. Wise man.
A wise man once said you just have to keep going. So I had a good New Year's.
So with all that said, I had a great New Year's.
But that just goes to show we just had the most amazing fans in the world. So shout out to those Steves in Des Moines. Showed me a great time.
We ran into a bunch of. Let's not jump over our night in Boston.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Never had bigger fun up.
Foley, you missed out.
This was right after Christmas, before New Year's, and it was special because we had 4 guys together that have not been together in since about a year. About a year. This was of course Mike, myself, Blue Yup, and DJ Fader. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get DJ Fader out on a non-tour date, you know.
Fader's a fucking hilarious guy.
He's hunkered up in Salem.
I wish everyone knew how funny Fader was.
He's wearing like these Warby Parker reading glasses now. He wears a lot of plaid.
I was tripping him. I was like,
stays
dude,
in on weekends.
He looks so serious.
But we love him.
Fader's actually a fucking hilarious guy. He might be funnier than all of us.
I agree.
Combined.
I wholeheartedly agree. Yes,
he's
easily.
so funny. Yeah, but Sachi's not even trying. I guess Fader really isn't either. But
no.
Fader's like fucking like drop of a dime, tell him to do something, he'll do it and crush it. Like he could be completely sober, like he'll be DJing like stressed out. And then like we're like, Fader, get out here, and he just like goes out and does shit that like people wouldn't be able to do sober. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he's a fucking hilarious guy.
So we have ourselves a night. We got floor seats for the Celtics against
dude, so not to cut you off.
Yeah.
We kept getting tagged in those pictures, and you kept turning around trying to get out. So
Yeah.
we were like right under where you could like. So if they're shooting a free throw, like we're right under the hoop.
We sat right under the hoop. Yeah.
But like the camera for free throws are like right behind us.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know why me and Blue were geeking out. We just look like four doofuses, just big heads, just like.
Yeah, my mom texted me. She's
lot of
like,
fans hit me
my
about
mom's
it.
like, I see the back of your head. I know it's yours. I wouldn't miss that back of the head anywhere. And then once I knew that free throws were happening. Come on.
This guy paused his mom.
Come on. Once I knew that the camera was right behind us, every free throw I tried to like turn around. It's like I was pretending to look for someone. And
That's so funny.
And fucking
You're such a dork for that.
What Gronkowski was behind us? What fucking 7-foot oaf Gronkowski?
Gordy.
Who was his
Oh my
name?
God, he's a legend.
Yeah, he is. He's a funny dude.
Legend.
We ended up partying with them later.
He thought I was fucking looking at him the whole time. I was just trying to get some FaceTime. So
The Gronkowskis are like, they're so fucking funny. Like they all have the same energy kind of.
they have the same gene, whatever that gene is.
Yeah, they're just like fucking big and like just happy and fun and strong and you know what I mean? They're just fucking. They're like really fun-loving dudes though.
Yeah.
Like they don't seem to be worried about shit. They're just kicking it,
No.
having a blast while they're doing it too.
And of course, Donnie Wahlberg was there, which means more importantly, his lovely gal Jenny McCarthy was there. Who a lot of you young listeners probably don't know Jenny McCarthy, but
It's a shame.
when I was young, she was really popping on the Playboy circuit. She was on the cover a few times. I remember stealing that issue from my old man back in the day and snapping my carrot to it a few times a day.
Yeah, like so we got dropped off like the VIP go kind of in like where the tunnel where the players go in, and they were getting dropped off at the same time, and Kilmer was like a predator in the wild that had
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty.
come upon his prey.
She was almost neck and neck with like Pam Anderson back then.
He was like stiffened up. He's like, it's Jenny McCarthy.
She still looks good.
And he's like, man, I used to whack it to her all the time.
While she was like 10 feet away from me.
Shout out Donnie Wahlberg.
Shout out Donnie Wahlberg. All right, so I guess like also before New Year's, one other thing happened. A little project called You Ready? Dropped out of nowhere. Dropped out of thin air, actually.
Yeah. It did.
What was it, Mike? What was your thinking behind dropping a project like that without even announcing it? Really?
mean-
you hinted at it.
I did. If you think about it, we did the same thing for the homies. We didn't promote it.
That's
We gave a countdown, but we didn't say what it was about. We just gave like a 6 or 7 day countdown, I think. But we didn't even mention what it was. I mean, look, being independent, like most of the listeners probably have no idea. We don't talk about the music much or the industry much. But it's an interesting industry. It really is. It's wild. They call it the Wild Wild West for a reason. It always has been. Thank you, sir. You know, like for me to being independent, it's not really about any kind of rollout or promotion. Like I'm not an over promoter type. It's already hard enough for me to promote because everything I do, we promote and I promote directly. So it's like I'm constantly self-promoting and it feels weird. It's not really my vibe in general. So like doing it too much is already, there's a very like, we walk that line. Like you guys, everything that gets posted and like everything's like you guys know me so well, like it has to be co-signed because I just feel so, once there's like, you go over a line of like constantly selling, it's whack. You know what I mean? It just has a whack vibe. So like, you know, given the circumstances, when we put out For the Homies, we kind of figured that was the final Mike Stud release. And that was, you know, Foley's on here, we could talk about it a little bit, but like the branding of For the Home, before we get into the You Ready, we were, for the Homies, like that was our send off. We were thinking that was the final Mike Stud.
The cover,
project.
you got a Stud Light can pouring out.
And people like, I'm sure like people who like just look at Mike Stud kind of objectively be like, of course they got a Bud Light, like how stupid. But like, it was really saying like, rest in peace, Stud. Like, you know, you pour beers,
Pour one out for your
homie. Like, what we were saying there was, you know, pouring out for me. Like, it's over the Mike Stud kind of era.
Yep.
And you know, as things have since then, you know, we've really kind of we've been in the trenches with like, one, I've been creating so much, but also like seeing where this timeline of like when the mic shit will start. So I haven't really even said it yet, but we've known for a few years now, but I'm switching to Mike. So it's just MIKE period. It's gonna be part of the branding. And I just you know, a big part of this is like our next move. You know, it's a little early to say the actual details of it, but we're gonna be going for it. It'll be my first like non-independent, you know, venture. And we just, for everyone like hearing that and worrying, like just know that it's everything we held out for, because it's like a dream situation. We love doing it independently so much. I think we would have done it forever, and we would have scaled up. We would have added layers and actually had created rollouts and done partnerships, etc. It's kind of what this deal is going to be. But you know, the way things played out, like we knew this was going to happen. I was creating the whole time while kind of the business and the logistics of it are working themselves out. And you know, here we are when I dropped the You Ready project. Like it was really a last minute decision, but I looked back at the Mike Stud thing and I'm like, to not have a send off project or, you know, some form of release to commemorate the end of it, or just put a timestamp at the end of the era. Like we had put songs out in 2019.
Not many.
So yeah, 2 songs. So we, you know, figured, hey, these songs, you know, I could say it now. Most artists might not admit it. These are technically like kind of the throwaways of what the Mike album is, and the Mike album's very close to done.
But it's a similar sound to what the album will be,
it's
right?
just like what I'm saying is now when you look back at the end of Mike Stud, you know, granted all the you know Mike shit begins, you're gonna see that timeline, the evolution to where the sound goes is gonna make sense. And this was the final. This was like the final piece to the you know, like the making it make sense. And it's a picture to me now when I look at the lineage of the sound and the evolution of everything.
It's a picture on the wall.
Yeah. So like these were the songs. You have, you know, as you've said a few times, I've made a bunch of music, and these are the songs we really liked. And I really wanted to share with people and see the light of day, but they're not gonna make the Mike album. Objectively speaking, they're just not. So that's where we were with that. And I'm not gonna fucking over promote something we're killing off.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to do any, like people are like, yo bro, we should be playlisting, we should do this and that. Like for those listening, you have to make like a bunch of plays behind the scenes to like actually move your record along. And like, it might sound kind of stupid, it might not make sense, but that's just the way it is. So like for now, like it didn't make even the last year. Like that's kind of why the podcast it started, because we knew we're kind of pressing the brakes on music and releases and trying to escalate it, because you know we are betting on ourselves for the next move. Like why pour too much energy or resource into something you're literally going to kill at the end of the year? You know what I mean? So this was for the fans and for us. I think these songs are gonna really live and age well, and I think they give a hint to where it's going, sonically.
So let's take a step back.
That was a long-winded answer.
Just take a few steps back. The name change, Mike Stud to Mike. We've been talking about it and thinking about it for a really long time.
5 years?
5 years. Thinking it was in discussion for 5 years.
I mean, look, the fans, the people listening, like they're not gonna really agree, because like they were the ones who like weren't bothered by it.
It's all they know.
It's what they know. It's what they know me by, and like they didn't have a bias that stopped them from engaging with me, and they did. They're like, oh, you know, I get this guy, and they know me, and they know us. The name doesn't mean shit, really.
So that's my question: is what motivated you to want to change your name?
I mean, when I fucking look people in the eye and I tell them my name, and they like double back like I'm a porn star, like they don't know how to react. That was the first shit that I was like, oh, like, you know. And then as I evolved as a person, like Mike Stud, it was Mike Stud when we started. I was ratchet as fuck. We were just like college kids,
brand,
like, and I wouldn't, to be completely frank, like, thank God I didn't think about it too seriously in the beginning, because I think Mike Stud, the name probably helped it in the beginning. But if you told me when I was in the dorm room making songs, like, yo, you're gonna make a fucking career out of this. So I don't know if I wouldn't have picked Mike Stud even then. Even the mind frame I was in then, I would have been like, I don't want to be known as Mike Stud. You know what I mean? Like, yes, there's tons of crazy names now. It doesn't really matter. Like, people make that argument. Like, dude, people's names are so ridiculous nowadays.
Yeah, it's true.
But they don't look like me, and they don't act like they're not a white kid from Duke calling himself Stud. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
there's no way, from a realistic framework of looking at it, there's no way you can quantify how many people were just automatically deterred from it. I don't want to listen to that shit. I'm not clicking on that. Never gave it a real chance. How could you quantify it? It's an unknown statistic we'll never be able to look at.
You never know.
You never know. But what I do know is that, like, who I've evolved into organically as a person is no longer, it doesn't feel right to be Mike Stud. I just don't, it doesn't even feel right coming out of my mouth anymore. So, and then my management and like the bigger players that we've talking with, and when I can say the deal, you guys are gonna fucking lose. You're gonna love it. But anyways, the players, like, everyone was on board with this and everyone believes it. And then, like, when you hear the music, you'll get it. It's just like, it's not Mike Stead. But all the fucking Steves, the people, the name doesn't matter to you guys, I know that. But you're gonna hear what I'm talking about in the music. And it's not a departure from what we've done. It's just like an elevation. I'm not stopping rapping too. There's some really hard rap records on there. Like, it's not like, oh man, he's going like country, you know, it's like, it's just this sound, but it's still me and it's still balanced and I still rap and go hard on shit.
Are you able to elaborate a little more on the sound, how it's changed, where you're adding?
I mean, there's a country influence. I'm working with like one of the best producers in the world for my sound. I was telling this shit to people, I swear to God, like you guys can attest. I was talking about like merging country and hip hop for probably like 2.5 years, 3 years. Like, there's a bunch of, even outside of this room, like my manager and other people, they can attest to this. Like, I was talking about it way before Lil Nas X, seriously.
Yep.
That record coming out was like ding, ding, ding. I knew, like, I was already making this sound. And it's not that, like, obviously there's a lot of factors to that, but like, that record's incredible. But I'm saying, I feel like the whole world,
It was a great market.
The whole world is prepped for it. It's like, yeah, you know what I mean? And like, if you look at me and you hold me up next to like the young country artists, like, that's really where I've gone as a person. Like, I'm not really acting like a rapper. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
if I'm where the culture of hip hop is going, and not to alienate anybody or anything. It's just like, I'm just talking about who I am as a person now. Like, you know what I mean? I don't really feel comfortable doing a lot of the shit that like is that, you know, is parts of that culture and part of what being a rapper entails, etc. So it's just like, without even having to describe it, I swear to God, it's the first time where I'm like, oh shit, this is me. 1,000,000%. The music, the way it looks, the way I'm acting, the way I'm talking, this is me. No one could tell me shit. I knew even before the shit that happened and people came on board and started fucking with it, you know, and it's gonna be bigger. Like, we're gonna have a real shot at really escalating and being mainstream potentially. But like, no one was fucking with it around here, you know. And as soon as we started, like, we totally stopped caring. We just went out to Hawaii, got fucked up, made a bunch of music, came back. Everyone was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, people started coming around to it. And since then, like, it's really like, even what I'm saying is, without their cosign or not, I just knew it was the first shit I made that was like organically like real, you know, like super real.
That trip was fucking magical.
Yeah, it was. I'm making a fucking mess over here.
Also,
Sorry,
it kind of reminds me of what Sam Hunt did for the country scene. He was kind of one of the first country artists to like turn pop a little bit and like away from like the twangy country sound. And
yeah, I mean, there's
I want to say after that happened, like a whole slew of artists came out with the exact same sound, where it was like almost like a perfect hybrid of pop music and country music. And
I don't know.
Do you think you're going to start to see that now with the hybrid of hip hop and country?
Yes. Yep, I do. I really do. I think, I mean, Post Malone is already doing it.
Yeah.
It's rock.
But that's what I was gonna say. Like, he could do it, and he has some songs from the early parts of his career that like it is that.
Like,
and he could do it right now.
Feeling Whitney was like kind of like
but
a
like,
little country
he
ballad.
took it. He took it. He has like the widest palette of music I've ever seen. And he loves all this hard rock shit. Like, I can't even be in the room with it. Like, I'm like pretending to like him, like, you know what I mean? He's like playing it for hours and just.
You two went to Slayer's last concert.
Yeah, I hated it.
I saw on my Instagram story that you and Dago were at a Slayer concert. I was like, what the fuck?
No, I can't
is
say I
Mike
hated
doing
it.
at a
It was a
Slayer
good
concert?
energy.
Did you mosh?
He wanted to.
Dude, you should have. Would have been.
I would have loved
amazing.
that
Dude,
concert.
imagine,
Post was having the time of his life in there.
I would have loved that concert.
imagine you get that video.
It was their
Dago and
final concert ever.
moshing.
Ever.
I mean, trust me, I got into it through that energy. I don't like the music, man. Anyways, I think he's gone much heavier in the rock direction.
Yep.
And you know, the more and more I've like become an artist and kind of followed other artists and looked back at what things they would say, it's a lot. There's so much validation in the reinvention of yourself. Like everybody says, you have to reinvent yourself constantly, and it gave me like such a green light on it. Like I was skittish on it for a while. I was just like, when is the time? And I was just, of course, it's time to reinvent myself musically. You know what I mean? Everything was pointing to that.
I think the big question now is, do you think our concerts will change for the better? And if so, how?
Yeah. I mean, it's just gonna be us. It's gonna be the same exact vibe. Nothing's gonna change. Like the music, you've heard it. You know what I mean? Like it's not like this shit I just put out. Kind of is sad, like overall. But the tone of the fucking mic shit is not. It's, you know, you guys will get it. Like the energy of the music is a lot more. But like I'm trying to tell a story. There was a method to that. Like when you have a breakup and you fall out of love with somebody, of course it's dark in the beginning. Like this is the first music I've made since then.
Yep.
So it's gonna transcend to where it's going. That's why the last song was like cheers. And like something to really think about for the fans is like the You Ready, like the track where I say You Ready, it wasn't number 1, it was number 7, it was the end. Meaning like, you know,
Ready for a new chapter.
yeah, like it's not, that was, you know, kind of our little way of saying like this isn't the end of music, it's kind of the beginning. You know?
Do you have a favorite song out of the new releases?
White Flag. Yeah.
You say some dope shit on there.
I remember when I made that, I played it for you.
You have that line, what's the car line?
Yeah, everyone's fucking with that line. It's nowadays my car drives a little faster. I named it after the girl that made me want to crash it. Yeah, because it like nowadays my car drives a little faster is like a dope way of saying like, you know, we made money and like drive, you know, like it's kind of that way of saying like things change in that regard. You know,
I want to say that when I heard that song for the first time, especially like in the first like opening verse, it's like the first time in your music that you like almost let your guard down.
yeah. The whole vibe of this whole shit is just super honest.
Yeah.
So like anyone who's listened to the podcast and like vibed with it in any sense, the music's gonna fucking confirm. It's gonna be like, that's why like people have been like, man, you're gonna keep doing the podcast? Like you could be a really big artist now or whatever. Like this, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do it just because it's never been done, you know, like because I think it serves it.
I agree.
If I was making shit that was fraudulent, of course I would stop the podcast. We wouldn't want to reveal ourselves, but I feel like it's the opposite. You watch a podcast or you listen to a podcast and go listen to the music, you're like, of course, you know, at least the feelings and, you know, like the alignments are there, like the validation of that. I'm not saying, of course, you're going to love the music. I think you got a really bad ear feeling like this shit. But at the same time, everyone has their own taste.
And he's still humble, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I don't even mean that in it. Like, that's just how I feel about it. You know what I mean? But I was saying, like, there's people that probably hate it. They don't even like that style shit. They're like super hard shit or rock or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, though, like all this new wave of music is just very easy listening sonically.
Yeah,
So
like
it's hard
I
to-
rapped my ass off for the fucking last decade. Like as far as like just saying shit, I was like, I'm fucking wordy as hell. You know what I mean? Like the whole sound was wordy and lyrical and rapping, and you know, I just like, bro, I just don't listen to that shit. I don't listen to rap. Like I listen to the popular rap. Like I'm talking about the lyrical miracle like type of shit where it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not into that shit at all. It hurts my ears. Even my old shit that is like super wordy, I'm just like, I don't want to listen to this. I get that it was a different sound then. And that was exactly who I was then. I used to be a fan of that. You always try to make what you like.
Yep.
You know, or at least a version of it. You know,
All the hard bar shit now just has good melodies.
Yeah. I mean, like,
And a hard 808.
yeah, like I'm rapping what my favorite rap shit on this next shit, on the mic shit that I've done, because it's melodic, you know, like, but I'm saying flat, like, you know, it has that. I made sure it's not gonna be like a switch to some like soft, like, feels like a country artist. Like, it's not at all, you know. I'm excited for everyone to fucking hear it.
Would you relate your new sounds to anyone who's currently out? Have you drawn inspiration from anyone?
I mean, I've drawn inspiration from a handful of people. Like, you know, being around Post, I'm for sure influenced by him. He probably makes like my favorite music that's out really consistently. Like, Drake for sure. Like, just obviously his ability to make catchy. Like, I think Drake's probably the best at that. Like, he maintained his ability to say cool shit, but changed it to melody. You know, like, and he does a wide range. So it kind of gave me the freedom to feel like I could make whatever. I'm not limited to one sound. Because Drake fucking around, do different shit, you know?
Yeah.
Who else? Old Wayne. Old Wayne.
Yeah.
Like, I revisited a lot of old Wayne shit.
Just lyrically.
Yeah, and like
Wordplay.
he was making great pop songs too. So just like, cause I'm not trying to over sing on shit. I mean, I'm singing more, but I guess like Wayne had this like lazy vibe to his delivery that just became so catchy. He wasn't over singing it, and I think I've captured that mainly because I record myself.
I was just going to get to that. Speaking of like the honesty of your music, I have to give you credit because you taught yourself Pro Tools and you've been
that was huge, man.
You've been recording yourself, you know, over these songs. And do you think that like you get like a whole new level of honesty when you're in a room by yourself?
Facts.
Late at night, you're burning whatever fucking candles you got in there.
Stevenson Ranch candles.
Burning candles.
I have my manifestation
burning
candles,
that were hand poured during a full moon or something, or like
Sell the candles.
when the Dalai Lama took a shit, someone poured a
I
candle.
got special candles, bro.
They're Stevenson Ranch candles.
I got those too.
That's all we burn
you
at the
think
ranch.
you get a whole new level of honesty in your music when you're by yourself?
For sure.
Versus
that was like the main thing. I was like, oh man, I have to do this. Because once I like did it once, I remember when I made it. I think I made all hits the first time I sat down and made a song myself. And I was just so proud, but I knew the song, I like that song too. But like, I just knew there was an unlock there. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna make crazy shit now. Cause it's different, bro. No matter who the fuck you are and who it is and what your relationship is, it's not the same as being alone.
That's true.
You're never gonna, that's when you're truly yourself in a locked room, no one watching, you know? Who knows if I would have said the things I said too, you know? Cause I'm not sitting there writing, I'm just like freestyling, working shit out. So like, you know, there's no way to know if you would say the same shit and be as honest if it was people there, you know?
Yeah. Ben, what's your favorite song off the album?
All of them.
Is it You Ready? All
Makes
of them.
me smile the most.
Yeah. One time it rattled me that I was like, oh, we're such idiots for that, but I love it.
Oh, it's amazing.
No, because I was just like in the whip and I was baked and weird. And then it came out, I was like, you ready? Super loud.
So good.
Yeah, we're idiots.
Anything you want to add before we go into our pee break?
I was literally just about to ask how far we were from the pee break.
A few, like a minute or two.
I just talked the whole fucking time there.
That's okay. It's what needed to be said. It's what people want
Yeah,
to
I mean,
hear.
we've never explained it, so yeah.
Yeah. Now you know, bitches.
So we're caught up now, right? That discussion, we're to here. And now it's 2020 and there will be no more Mike Stead, but there will be Mike.
After the break, we will be moving on to a Decade of Stud, a commemoration of our good friend Mike Stud.
We might need to crack some brewskis for that one.
We will.
Chug butts?
We'll get some chug buds.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's go into our pee break.
All right.
All right.
We'll be right back with You Never Know, You Know What I Mean, right after this urination break.
I get DMs every day from people still like, yo, can you send me a picture of the tattoo, or can you, write out YNK or the keep going shit. We did these temporary tattoos for that purpose. So like, obviously you guys can wear them if you want, temporary, but like for the people who, want to get the tattoo, this is the best way of doing it. It's a perfect stencil. And then they can just upgrade the size or whatever, or change it, whatever. But,
what he's really trying to say is stop fucking DMing us, asking for Mike to write out. I'm just kidding, but I do get a lot of those messages.
You ready?
So many of those messages.
Can Mike write out keep going in his handwriting? I'd love to get a tattoo.
I get so many of those.
Yeah.
Those are great shoes.
I still find it insane people scar their bodies with your words.
It is pretty weird.
No, it's awesome.
I think it's pretty weird that you don't have a tattoo.
I don't have tattoos. I'm sorry.
He doesn't have any tattoos.
Not a single tattoo, including a YNK tattoo.
Sachi doesn't either.
I'll tell you what. When Channing Tatum gets a tattoo, I'll get a tattoo.
What? Why is that your bar?
I don't know,
because he's
The Rock has tattoos.
he's a good looking dude.
I'm actually
the Rock can
surprised
pull it
that
off.
you don't have like a massive tribal tattoo, like dude, like on your leg or something.
The Rock can pull it off. I can't pull it off.
Why not?
I love The Rock, but I'm not a Dwayne. I'm more of a Channing. Let's be real.
You're more of a Chad.
I'll ride that pony. I'm more of a male stripper. Let's be real.
Money Mike or Magic Mike? Whatever
Magic
the fuck it
Mike.
is.
And before I get on stage to strip, our friends over at Mastermind created a new product
No way.
called CBD Energy Shot.
I like this dynamic though. We were just talking about this, right? Yeah. So the worst part about like energy shots, in my opinion, is just like the quality of the energy, like
Jittery.
yeah, like it can just take you to a spot you don't want to be at.
Really hard to get a boner.
Is that true?
What?
I don't know.
Yo, am I really
Who
high?
said that?
Am I really high, or is this really hard to read?
Not my chair, not my problem.
It's essentially like a
Yes,
5 hour.
it is.
It's a 5 hour energy almost, but it has
We'll
CBD.
take it back
Can we
to
help him
drawing
with
board.
that?
Yeah.
It has CBD mixed into like a 5 hour energy. It's almost like
I take
ingredient
one?
wise.
But like the whole vibe is like if you can get a good dose of energy, but like not make sure you're not getting the jittery version because you got CBD, and like that's kind of what that's doing. That's a vibe. I'm gonna try that for sure.
And on the contrary, if you're feeling sleepy, you can get some CBD sleep drops. Also sold by Mastermind. Yeah, here you go. Here you go, Ben.
What was it?
Merry Christmas.
CBD sleep drops.
CBD sleep drops. Just new out of the mill. And a lot of people also have been messaging me about where they can get these Mastermind CBD products. They are about to launch their online store within the week, so we will be announcing that on our YNK socials. Ben, you should take
Did you
both.
take the sleep drop?
Ben, you should take the sleep one and the energy one and see what you feel like.
See which one wins. Do it. Just ruin his whole night.
Nah.
I might get ratchet tonight. I'm in a ratchet.
I might
mood
save
now.
that one for later.
Oh boy. Oh brother.
You're gonna get
Did you go to Saddle Ranch last night?
Yeah, I did go to Saddle Ranch last
was
night. It was pretty quiet. I just went for the music, for the vibes,
Just the energy.
just to hang out. Also, just to update everyone. I know everyone's been dying to
Doesn't- you know,
to
like the
find
taste?
out. Doesn't taste good.
Tastes great.
We'll work on the taste.
A lot of people have probably been wondering, but yes, I did in fact for Christmas get tickets to Motley Crue. Isn't that exciting?
That's awesome.
It's fantastic. So I'd like to just give a little shout out to my brother Eric. Thank you so much for the tickets. I'm going to enjoy it this September.
That's amazing.
How about your ancestry DNA kit, John?
I like the answer. I'm going to find out how black I am. That's
0%.
not going to be.
Tough
Yo,
tie.
dude, even if it says a percentage, 0%.
I don't know that Euro step.
I'm going to walk in with a do-rag and start Euro stepping on your ass.
That Euro step isn't no white boy Euro step.
Yo.
You know what I mean?
We find out it's like a
Funny
quarter
thing is,
black.
it's actually the most white. That's the funny part is, it's the most white boy Euro step you've ever seen in your life.
It's like John Stockton.
It's like
It's very flaily. I flail a lot.
I love Kilmer's basketball game. It's the best.
So to commemorate a decade of stud, as we leave him behind in the upcoming decade, with the help of our good friend Patty Quinn, we put together a nice little minute recap of the last decade. Isn't that exciting?
It is exciting.
Want to see it?
A headlining show.
Without ever being on tour before.
Like, how do you know?
Oh man,
people are
I
gonna
forgot
show
about this footage.
up? We didn't.
So good.
Places that truly appreciate when people come out because
Oh wow, this is pretty
still,
fire.
we're just not famous. We're not that famous. You go to one show, it could be 300, or another night it could be 1,000, but we don't really know what's gonna happen. People whole show.
The shows look so small then.
That was really
Crazy. To us, it was like Madison Square Garden. Is that real?
Yeah.
Playing some of these venues
Was
with
in-
bands and looking out and seeing them half full. Now we're on this run and these same venues are full. Finally, like seeing the rewards of all the work we put in.
Oh yeah.
They relate to my music that much, and I feel like I relate to them.
It looks so different.
I feel like they know us and they want to know us and like we want to know them. I don't know if you could ever go back to real life.
TMZ, Mike.
Here's the thing, I'm creating a culture here.
Those touring boring days of getting one.
Kind of enjoys the fruits of the labor.
All the shows are big.
They're a pig.
Oh.
Everyone's pigs at his shows.
How fun is anything if you have no one to share it with?
True though.
That turned into a bar like 5 years later.
So
Wow.
can we talk about the fact
That's
that
dope.
the narrative audio comes from you talking about everyone in the crew getting nuts together?
That's the fruits of the labor.
That's honestly
Like that's what
that is what that
that's
was.
what that was about.
That's why that was so
Everyone-
funny though. So like
It gets so serious.
I was rocked there. Like you could see me
Wait.
starting to laugh though.
And I remember
at the end
I remember
because I was
that.
talking about like
I remember that entire conversation.
sharing.
everyone getting laid by the same girls was basically
Yeah.
what basically that whole
So-
like that whole.
I was like, yeah, everyone on the bus, man. I said we're all going to the same place.
How good is
and he
anything
made it.
if
He
you
like
can't
he
share
made
with
it
your
into
friends?
like a fucking.
Yeah, it's so dramatic, but I loved it.
It's so good. No, but it's completely accurate the other way too.
That's,
Like
that's why it's so good.
it's so good.
So good.
So before we put a nail
funny.
in the stud coffin, I want to play a little game with you guys. It's going to be called Guess What City and What Year We're In.
I love that you make these kind of games up.
I'm going to play a clip, and you're going to tell me where we were and when it was.
I'm gonna be good at this. I think.
All right.
I think I'm gonna be really good
You're
at
gonna,
this.
Foley, you're going to want to pay attention to this first one.
Oh God. Oh, I know where this is.
Myrtle Beach,
Yeah.
2014.
Okay. This has to be explained, right?
No, it doesn't.
So that's the AC.
There's the AC in a van that has no AC.
Ben has his head glued to the AC vent with his eyes closed.
Feels so good when you're on Molly.
Maybe under the influence of something.
A little Molly. I'm not a girl named Molly.
Yo, he's 18.
Oh, you're
man.
18 in this.
Blue knows that I'm on Molly. He's like worried about my vibe. He's like,
All right, so that was,
making sure I'm good.
That was actually Myrtle Beach 2014.
I nailed that.
You said 14?
Yeah.
All right. 1 point for Mike.
Cheers.
Cheers. Next one. Here we go.
Cheers to tears, guys.
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach.
Same thing.
I'm not falling for this
Same
trick.
thing. This is literally the same night.
He's trying to the trick question.
Trick question. This is the same night.
It is.
Dude, I remember
Hey, but
being
I
fucking
respect
off
this.
of
We can
being
let this ride.
staring at this wall, this LED wall for like a good 45 minutes.
They were a great group. These two. Just
Honestly,
always bringing the energy.
this is like 2 a.m. We found a club that was empty. It was a hard nightclub that's empty.
Just throwing that ass in a circle for the Steves. You know what I mean? Just doing what they can. Put their best foot forward, really doing whatever they
Oh,
can.
I fell down. I'm on the ground.
You fell down? You just wanted a better angle.
All right. Well, anyway. that was also Myrtle Beach,
Come on, I
2014.
can't remember how many places you were just laying on the ground. Like I'd look over and you'd be like laying on the ground, filming up. Not like to be creepy like under the skirt. I mean, they knew about it. Obviously, you weren't doing it like creepily, but you just literally like that was your favorite, and it would literally just be ass. Like you had, I want to say like if you went back and made a hypercut of all, you probably have 50 of them.
At least.
He said at least.
At least. My back was in a lot of cities on the floor. All right. This is a fun one, Mike. You're probably going to know this one right away.
January
Paris.
30th, 2015
Paris.
at 8:17 in the morning.
I got it out in fucking 4 minutes, bro.
Nah.
What you eating there?
No, we're in Amsterdam or something. No. Netherlands?
Is there more out there? Want some?
Germany.
It's on I stole
This is Germany in between
Nah,
the
this
two
is
shows.
Paris, I think.
Where were the two shows?
So this was that was Mike eating a croissant while taking a piss in a urinal. This was a interesting night for two reasons.
Do you
One,
want to read the timestamp on that?
it was. Well, you probably read it on the TV. Yeah, 8:17 p.m. This was our first Europe tour, and one, it was our first Europe tour.
Yep.
Two, it was the first time we did two shows in one night, I believe.
Yeah.
While we were in the
First and only.
Yeah, while we were in the Netherlands. So we had to literally do a early show in like Rotterdam or something.
Yeah.
Rotterdam, and then we had to leave right away.
That was fun.
We drank on the way, got even drunker,
We got wasted.
and then did a show in Amsterdam directly after
We just
that.
run around like no translator, just winging it.
And we've yet to go back to Europe. Do you think we'll return?
We're definitely, yeah.
I fucking hope so.
You ready, Europe? You ready, Europe?
Europe tour.
Oh, this is fun. I mean, this is just a fun memory.
Playboy Mansion, 2015.
This is probably this is the coolest thing I've ever done for the group, honestly, because this was.
Who the hell's that other guy?
I don't
on
know.
the right?
I don't know who that guy is.
That girl's looking at him like, who the hell's this guy?
This is one of the coolest things that I've done for us because I'm the one that got us here.
Yeah, Playboy Mansion.
Come, was this the time you got kicked out,
That's
or
just
was
a
that
random
different
guy,
time?
man. Wow, that was a wild motherfucker. For
Kilmer, is
Mike
that the
Shut-
time you got kicked out, or is that a different time?
I technically didn't get kicked out. I don't want to get into it. I technically didn't get kicked out.
We got kicked out of the Playboy Mansion. Kilmer. I'm not gonna fucking curtail this story.
But was that
Kilmer.
time?
Yes, it was the same night. I had an indiscretion. I got caught. I did not get kicked out. I'll leave it at that.
Wow. He doesn't want it out there.
If you want to
Because he doesn't want the
He
band.
wants to get out of the doghouse before the ancestry DNA test comes back.
I mean, this is way before your girl.
I know.
He's like, moving on.
It'll be in my memoir when it comes out
All
in
right,
10
all right.
years.
What is this?
I'll give you a rare pass on that. That's a great
I
story.
don't know why. I don't know why we let him go.
I don't know why either. I remember Seattle.
Him getting tased.
Seattle,
2017.
2016.
This is
Yeah, but this didn't work. I didn't actually get to tase him.
there was a girl on the bus with a pink taser. And
In
we
Seattle.
Yeah.
We thought it would be funny to tase Blue with the taser.
Shut the fuck up!
I don't think anyone's more excited for Blue to get tased than Jerry is.
Shut up. Don't kill me. I'm out here. Don't just fucking do it.
I said, don't do it. It didn't work.
Mike,
Because I did it too.
Mike,
It just,
Mike, I believe
for whatever
you tased
reason,
him.
when you put it on contact, that would have fucked you up. I respect you. He actually wants it.
Right there?
Do it.
this is some jackass shit, dude. This is some jackass shit. I'm gonna fast forward.
It's only right that I tase him.
Taser's asshole.
Tase his asshole, she said.
Oh my god, it's so good. Yeah.
That shit's epic. That was
The only thing missing was one real taste. Like, man, she's got that would be like the most epic thing ever.
that was actually not 2016. It was 2014.
Wow.
That was the Stud Summer Tour.
Makes sense.
Isn't that wild how times change?
2014, man. Sheesh.
What a tour.
What the fuck is that?
We were going to fuck.
Yeah, so while that
Oh.
clip was playing, I burped twice and smoke plumes came out. You gotta, if you can see it on the camera, you gotta
That's-
run it back. It's hilarious.
that's awesome.
I burped twice in full smoke when it came out.
All right. So let's see the next one here. Oh boy.
Some peeing for you.
I forgot about this.
Cheer on, you gotta cheer on. Cheer on, you gotta cheer on. You have to cheer on. Can you give me some commentary? What's going on here? How are we doing here?
Come on, we're really watching this girl pee right now. I love that you chose this.
Can I get a yup? Can I get a yup?
You went through the footage and you're like, you know what? I need to get this.
Where was it, Mike? Where was it?
I don't know why I want to say St. Louis
Besides
or
the
Missouri.
Nope.
Montana.
The girl peeing video was Houston. Also, Stud Summer Tour 2014.
Oh. Yeah, no, I remember those girls they're all wearing the same shirt.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
I don't know, you're sick. Kimmer's actually a little sick in that.
This is a fun one.
A little?
What are we?
Okay, we're on Bourbon Street. This is the night.
Bourbon Street's correct.
Yeah, we were rolling.
I can't believe it.
Is this the night Techo was with us too?
No, this was a separate Bourbon Street.
That's the night that like chicken got thrown down Fader's throat by that giant black chicken.
This was also the Stud Summer Tour.
I don't think that was Fader, was it?
Yeah, it was 100%.
It was also the Stud Summer Tour of 2014 in New Orleans.
Are you gonna pick it from any other place?
I don't know.
I don't think he is.
Let's find out.
Hold on.
I think that's
Dude,
your
if
joke.
you-
I think that's your joke, right?
If you don't have the footage from Texas A&M of Blue,
I don't have that.
dude, that's maybe the best clip of the last
I
decade.
mean, this is from Kilmer's little portal perspective. We'll just have to respect it for this. We can next episode. You can bring your version of it.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Oh my god!
The studio? Is that John Comer Studio?
John Kilmer Studios.
This is Kilmer's old studio. Dude, look at me in my little polo outfit. Like, I look so dorky.
That was Mike's clip.
I look so dorky.
Is that Huey?
This is so fucking funny, bro. This looks like a fucking parody. This looks like a Chris D'Elia. Like Chris D'Elia would do like a, you know what I mean? Oh, there's Emma.
So what?
Emma looks cool.
2013?
Dude, that
Actually,
is insane.
2012, New York City.
That's fresh out of college. That's Mike's dad right there.
That was an interesting time.
Wow.
I was living in New York City. I had a studio.
That studio,
John Kilmer Studios, right by Penn Station.
you
And
fucked that studio up.
not only did we party there, it's where we made all the Sunday Stud Days.
The first round.
First round of them.
First round, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, that was a big decision.
mainly
That was
we
good.
just had some fantastic parties there.
Yeah, but like that's just our memory of them. That's probably what they were.
I thought it was pretty funny.
But yeah, no, it is. But I'm saying like,
The ratio was always right.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, we had a good time.
And now just to
Sure. It's just funny, like it's about perspective though.
Yeah.
Like
They probably
Yeah.
did all like that.
Like this is a fucking because it was amazing. Like being in New York City, recording, making music, having bitches fuck with it. That was never like something we thought was gonna happen.
yeah, well,
So it's just like, of course, it was all. That's
Just-
why it was all good from the jump.
just to show how times have changed. This is fast forward a few years. This is what our studio sessions then looked like.
Yeah, this is Ratchet Mike said. Ratchet Mike said made it out to LA for a little while.
It was short-lived.
This was actually a recording session.
It was tragically short-lived.
We were there to work.
And she's not like, it's not like a stripper. She just came through and brought the heat. Great
Look at
song.
Lou dancing in the background.
Look at Lil.
Oh, look, I'm on the ground.
Kill us on the ground.
Again. You sick fuck.
Put a fucking flashlight up her asshole.
You're so sick, bro.
Dude, what's wrong with you?
All right.
Look at him. I love it.
Have you seen the doctor?
He said, all right. Oh, man.
Some things never change. Do you know what year that was?
2016.
Also 2014. It was a big year for us.
That was a ratchet ass year.
2014 was a big year for us.
We need a ratchet trophy and just give it.
Was
to
it really?
2014.
2014 was it for us.
That was before we moved out there, right? Yeah.
We were fucking wild boys.
No, 2014 is the year we moved out there.
Okay.
Us on tour?
I moved out. We moved
Oh
out
my
here
God,
like January, February.
Wow.
2014.
So
If the fans saw the show,
I'm speechless.
we gotta wrap up in a minute.
Yeah.
If the fans fucking knew what our actual TV show could have been, like, dude, we were shooting this ratchet ass pilot, like we were letting it fly, like we weren't holding anything back. It was the most ratchet, like real shit. It was super racy and like sexualized and like wild.
Thank God that never.
It would have been like a hit because it would have been like right after Jersey Shore. I bet it would have been a hit. It would have been the
ended your music career.
would have been the worst decision I ever made. And I remember when we talked about it, we made that decision, and then we ended up getting the deal with the smaller network and doing our version of the show, which thank God we did.
Amen to that.
Segues right into the podcast, you know, that vibe kind of.
Yep. So I think to commemorate all these memories, we should do one last chug bud to say goodbye to Mike Studd.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
May I have a beer?
I love how ginger. You asked for that beer very
You
gingerly.
pass the ceremonial Bud Light, please.
I sure will.
I'll edit in some good music for while we chug these.
Yeah.
Like some new mic set.
We got some new.
Mike, send us off.
Hey man. Cheers to Stud. What a guy. He got us here. He got us here. I love that you guys. Honestly, none of it was in the cards in my head. So it's just an amazing. Looking back at the fucking decade, it was just such an amazing, wild ride we've been on. And the fans. Without the fans, bro, that's all we had. You know, because no one really like gave it any credibility ever. And it was actually like pawned off. I mean, looking back at it, I get why some people were turned off immediately. You know what I mean? But for you guys who like look past whatever and just got in touch with it, cheers to you guys. This one's for you guys. Cheers. Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, dude. You just never know.
You never know.
You ready?
Cold.
Oh yeah!
The temperature, man. Wow, that was a brick.
That was nice.